NBA in-season tournament was actually pretty decent last year. And since it's starting today, I'm going to make my predictions for who's going to win it this year. But before that, we got to look at last year to see how we compare to this year. So the in-season tournament, if you don't know, if you didn't watch last year, the East or West conferences are split into 6 groups, 3 in the East, 3 in the West. And they basically have 5 teams each because there's 15 in these conferences. So they divide them up from there kind of randomly, but it gets kind of interesting when teams play better than they expected or worse than they expected, because then it makes the groups more stacked or watered down based off what teams thought was going to be fair and even before the season started. So last year, let's check this out. I mean, we're just going to skim through this pretty quick. Last year, Pacers went 4-0 in East Group A. Cool. Like Bucks went 4-0 in East Group B. Also, the Knicks made it the wild card. We'll have to talk about the wild card here in a sec. Celtics went 3-1, so it shows that, like, hey, you don't have to go 4-0 in your respective group just to make it into the knockout rounds, I guess. So, yeah, the 4 teams out of the East were Pacers, Bucks, Knicks, and Celtics. And basically how it works was whoever had the best point differential outside of the top 3 teams of the group ended up winning it. So, like, even though the Knicks had a better point differential than the Pacers because they didn't go 4-0 and the Knicks went 3-1, Pacers get that. I think they got the 1 seed, or they got the 2 seed. But basically, because look at the rest of the contenders. I mean, the Cavs had 29, Knicks had 42, then 22. So obviously the Knicks get the wild cards. So that's how the wild card works. So I'm going to be using that exact same kind of metric and standards for my predictions. Then in the West, we got the Lakers. I mean, they went 4-0. Then the Suns, like we said before, ended up getting the wild card. Pelicans went 3-1. Once again, you don't have to go 4-0 to get to the knockout stage. And then Kings went 4-0. So really, really interesting. You can see right here, that's how they kind of went with the wild card here, was based off point differential. I mean, it's really hard to go 2-2 and make it. Like, I don't think that's going to be possible. I think you got to go at least 3-1 and have a good point differential, basically a net rating. We're going to talk about that later. Or just go straight out 4-0. But I don't know. There won't be a 4-0 wild card because that'd be impossible if you can't go both go 4-0. So. Very, very interesting. So what do we learn from this? I mean, you don't have to be undefeated to make it, but being undefeated definitely helps and gets you kind of like a lockout. Like, if you are undefeated, you are moving on to the knockout stages. That's basically guaranteed. 3-1, if you're a good 3-1 team, and you're basically going to make it. I mean, if you are 3-1 and the second like best in your group, then you're probably end up making it if you have a good point differential. So that's basically how that works. So how can I use that to this year make my predictions? So East A, this is a kind of interesting group. I think this group is actually kind of trash. If Embiid was not coming back, this group would be dog water because, I mean, we got Paolo is out. The Nets would probably be maybe the second best team here. I think they have I think them and the Magic are tied in the Eastern Conference right now in terms of standings, which is crazy because everyone thought the Nets were going to be like dog booty water, but they're going to be better than the Pistons were last year. I guarantee you that, probably. So they're going to be better than the Pistons were last year. I guarantee you that. The Hornets are pretty good. LaMelo's going to be pretty fun to watch, but ultimately, I obviously picked New York to win this. I think they're going to be 4. I mean, it's literally only 4 games. You have to beat the Magic without Paolo, the Sixers without Tyrese Halliburton, the Sixers without Tyrese Maxey and Paul George. Paul George is in, but he's been kind of trash. Brooklyn, the Knicks could take Brooklyn. And then Hornets would be kind of interesting to see. Hornets are my sleeper pick, but I think overall Knicks are going to make it out of this group specifically. Then again, there's Embiid. His first game back is going to be tonight against the Knicks, and that's an in-season tournament game. So I don't know if he could pull through. The reason I didn't have the Sixers winning out of the East A group is because Embiid coming back and just like smashing 4 games and going 4-0, and then like going through the season like in-season tournament and doing something. I don't think that's like that plausible right off coming off of playing his first game in the Emirates Cup. So it's kind of interesting to see that. I went with the Knicks, pretty straightforward. I can't really make an argument against that. I mean, this group is pretty trash, honestly. East Group B. This group sucks. The Bucks are really bad, but they have Giannis and Dame. Dame is out though. Pacers they've been okay. The Heat have been the Raptors have been and the Pistons have been So you got a team who was good playing really bad. Everyone else sucks. So out of this, I picked Indiana because they suck the least. Just out of the rest of the season, they have Ben Mathurin back. Pascal Siakam's a full season playing this year. for the Indiana, and I think it's going to be very interesting to see how they all mesh together. Tyrese is kind of having a little bit of a slump. Miles Turner's playing a lot better, so that's going to be very interesting to see how that goes. But my whole thing with this group is like, yeah, I picked the Pacers. Obviously, I don't know. I think they probably would go 3-1 because the Pacers and the Bucks actually played in the knockout round last year. Pacers beat the Bucks. Tyrese hit the whole Dame time thing. You don't remember that one. The only reason the Pacers won't win this is because this group has Giannis Antetokounmpo and Jimmy Butler, who for some reason, if Jimmy Butler wanted to pop the freak off in his like extension year where he needs to play hard and like get re-signed and stuff, if he wants to pop the freak off and go crazy and just go 4-0, I wouldn't be surprised because we've seen this dude take his team from the play-in to the NBA Finals. So 4 games isn't going to be that crazy for him, right? To turn it on, he did way more than that if he wants to do that. And then there's Giannis. Who's Giannis? So I'm not taking anything out of question. Nothing's out of the question right now. I'm just putting Pacers down because I think that's going to be a safe bet. And I think 80% of the time, maybe 90% of the time, they're going to be able to do this. 3-1. I don't think they're going to go 4-0. I think they'll go 3-1. And then this group is nuts because not even in terms of standings where you got the undefeated Cavs and the Celtics and stuff. The Hawks are pretty good. The Wizards, they're the Wizards. The Bulls are also the Bulls. But oh boy, in terms of like who's going to be the team to come out of this group, just Celtics Cavs alone is nuts. So it's basically whoever wins between the Cavs and the Celtics. That game, November 19th, is going to be insane to watch because whoever wins that game has the opportunity to go 4-0, and we know that if you go 4-0, you basically are a lock for the in-season tournament, like the knockout rounds. But outside of that, if both teams play well, one team might go 4-0. Let's say Boston goes 4-0 and Cleveland goes 3-1. And then Cleveland makes the wild card because they have a good net rating, because they have the best net rating in the NBA above the Celtics right now. That would be very, very interesting because then both teams from that group who are really, really good make it, might have to play each other again. And watch this group. This group's going to be crazy. My pick, though, was Cleveland. I think Cleveland goes 4-0. That's going to be like, not like a hot take because they're 12-0, but it's like, they're 12-0. I can't see them, like, if they lose a game, it might be the Celtics, but at the same time, they're 12-0. They're way better than we thought they've been. And it's not just like a hot streak. They're just a very, very, very good team. And the Celtics are also really good. I'm just going to go with the Cavs because I think it'd be kind of fun. If I get this prediction right and the Cavs beat the Celtics, Cavs go 4-0, get the 1 seed. Oh, man, that'd be awesome. So that's basically where I'm at right now. This one doesn't have a graphic for some reason. But, yeah, Minnesota, LA Clippers, Sacramento, Houston, Portland. Not a bad group. Not terrible, but I think Houston, Sacramento, and the Clippers are going to be very interesting to see. I'd be surprised if the Minnesota Timberwolves just don't go 4-0 here. I mean, everyone beats the Blazers. Rockets, cool. They're okay. They're like, I think they're 7-3, 7-4 right now. Not bad. That's actually pretty good. Sacramento Kings have been Clippers have been better than we thought they were going to be. Am I biased because I'm a Clippers fan? No. We're 6-5. We lost to the Thunder by 6 points last night. So, I mean, everyone's like, well, we don't have Chet. I'm like, we don't have freaking Kawhi, dude. So shut up. Like, but Minnesota Timberwolves have been better, in my opinion, personally, than the Knicks have been. There are a lot more holes and flaws like we thought there were going to be with the Knicks, and there are. Timberwolves are way better, well-rounded. Bigger star, Anthony Edwards over Jalen Brunson all day long, I think, in terms of clutchness. I could see Ant going crazy and going, like I said, with Jimmy Butler and Giannis, really wanting to win this for some reason. And not for some reason. I mean, it's kind of fun. Like, it's a fun atmosphere. I'm glad we are doing this because I have enjoyed every single game we played. It's just been awesome. It was great. So, yeah, I think Timberwolves here, 4-0 sweep. I don't think anybody beats them. I don't think we're getting a wild card out of this either for the West. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But, yeah, Timberwolves, easy sweep here. Now, here we go. What I think is the most interesting and will be the most entertaining group is West B. I mean, you got Thunder, Suns, Lakers, Jazz, and Spurs. Every group has that one team that's just like whatever, who cares? Suns, Lakers, Thunder, and Spurs, bro. Wemby playing 4 games. If he just has a 4-game stretch where he goes bananas, bro, it's gonna be very interesting. So this is where I would think I would put my wild card from. I think it could be Phoenix. We'll have to see. OKC probably takes this. I think OKC However, I don't think OKC 4-0s this. Not without Chet. I think they're going to go 3-1, which is going to mess up some seedings. It's going to get very interesting. They won't have home court advantage. I mean, we're talking like this is the playoffs, but it's a tournament. So they won't have, I don't think they'll have a home court advantage for the tournament, which means that they'll lose games. Like, that's basically how it goes, right? But I think this has a chance to be the most entertaining group just because of Wemby, Braun, AD, D-Book, Shea, J-Dub, like all those guys, ton of guys in here. And then the Jazz, they're not like boring to watch. They're fun. They run a fast pace. They do some good stuff. They got some good players. But yeah, it's gonna be a very interesting group. I think Thunder go 3-1 here. Scratch what I said about the last one. This is the most interesting group by far. Denver, Dallas, New Orleans, Golden State, and Memphis. Holy crap. This is going to be very interesting. I picked Golden State for this one. Denver could be really fun to watch just because Jokic has been just killing everybody. They're doing pretty good. Dallas is going to be very fun to watch. Memphis is also going to be fun with Ja. But Golden State, I'm going to go with Golden State. It's either going to be Golden State or Denver. It could be, like, it's going to be very interesting. It's between the Thunder, the Warriors, the Nuggets, and the Suns, excuse me. Three of the four teams will make it into this tournament because two will make it, and then one of those will be a wild card. That's how I think it's going to go. Dallas could pull it out. Luka, this is why it's so fun. Is because it's 4 games. If someone could just go off, Ja could just go off, Luka could go off. There's a lot more explosiveness here in this group that makes it a lot more interesting to watch. But yeah, I got Golden State just because Steph Curry, man. I think it's going to be very fun. It's going to be crazy. Ton of star power. Then there's the Pelicans, but whatever. This could get tricky. Like I said, this could get crazy. Let's check out my bracket, though. I want to show y'all what I got cooking up for me. And I just drew this out while I was at work. So I'll throw it up on screen so you could see it. But as you can see, I mean, I had Golden State. I had the Lakers being... After thinking about it, I had Golden State matched up against LA. I had the Lakers taking the wild card just because I was like, there's so many good teams, but the Lakers won it last year. Like, they went undefeated in this thing last year, and they basically have the same roster. I get LeBron's a year older, but man, it's going to be fun. Like, it's going to be really interesting. So outside of that, I have Golden State winning that. In the West, I have Minnesota, OKC. I got Minnesota winning that just because OKC's really good. But once again, I think it's just going to be crazy. I think Ant could turn up and really go crazy with this. And out East, like I was talking about, I had Cleveland going 4-0. That means Boston's going to get the wild card. And apparently, I looked up the bracket. They would play each other in the first round again. So, but this time for the knockout. So crazy turn of events there. I have Cleveland winning that down 2-3 matchup. I got New York versus Indiana. I got New York. Indiana, last year was Indiana and LA, so I'd be surprised if both of those teams don't make it to at least the knockout round. Let me just say, I love this. This is so much fun. I love doing this. Then the Cavs, Knicks, I took Cleveland, and then Cleveland, Minnesota, so Donovan Mitchell go crazy and go crazy in the final. That'd be kind of fun to watch, especially because the Cavs have been so good. Imagine if the Cavs go 16-0 and then they just keep winning, they just don't lose in this tournament, and that adds on to their undefeatedness, I guess. That would be crazy. So I got Minnesota winning this just because Ant and Gobert and DiVincenzo's been great. Their whole lineup is deep. They've been playing very, very good. And I'm just kind of manifesting it. I like Ant. I like those guys out west. So that's all I got for today, bro. I mean, to me, this makes sense. Ant wants to play big games. He's talking about it. He's been shooting the most threes in the NBA. He said he's been attempting the most threes in the NBA. He's been making 40% of them. And he's going to be scoring a lot of buckets. So it's going to be very interesting to watch. Maybe he'll have a desire and that fire that AD and Braun had last year. Because AD in that tournament championship game in Vegas, bro, had 40 and 22 or something like that. It just closed it out. It'd be really fun to watch anybody have that kind of game. But I want Ant to have that kind of game. That's why I think the Timberwolves are going to win this year. That has nothing to do with the playoffs, seedings, in-season tournament. That's all we got for today. That's it. I got Minnesota winning. Ant taking the MVP. I guess I forgot there's an MVP for that just in time right now. That's all I got for today, bro. We out. We are streaming every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 7 a.m. I'm on Mountain Time. I think it's 6 a.m. Pacific. I'm trying to go do those early mornings, bro. So check it out, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. And I'm pushing out videos every couple days. I'm going to try and whatever you got. Let me know what you guys want me to make videos on. I'll make it members only. Click the join button up top next to subscribe for extra content. I'm working a lot on that as well. That's all I got for today, bro. We are out.